When I think of guest posting, I think of those emails that hit my inbox pretty much every single day, asking if they can place a high quality post on my website in exchange for $20 or $25. This approach is everything that's wrong with guest posting. Let me tell you why. Adam Monfoy, someone you're probably familiar with, or you should be familiar with, said this in one of his past videos about guest posting. Let's take a listen.
To become a successful blogger and make money, you really need to build relationships with other bloggers in your niche. And one way to do that is with guest blogging. And what you can do is basically write articles for other sites and link to yours in the content. So you can have your guest author bio. You can also link 1 or 2 times within the content itself. So that passes page authority from that website to yours, shows you as a trusted source of information, and helps you rank. So
pretty good, huh? Yeah, Adam does a lot of great stuff, but I don't know if you caught it. There were 3 things that Adam said in that clip of his video that kind of highlighted why you should guest post. The first one was building relationships. Now, whether you have a very well-established site or this is your first day blogging, relationship and connections in this business will take you very far. As bloggers, most of our interactions come as page views on our website, and so any opportunity we have for in-person or meeting people in the industry, it is so valuable. Those are people that you can make connections with now that sometime in the future you may end up collaborating with, or they may ask you for something or you may ask them for something. It's so important to build these connections in the blogging space. Now, networking may not be the first reason you're doing guest posting, but I think it's a really important piece to it. And presenting yourself in a way that would be good networking, I think is really, really important. The second reason he gave was getting links to your content. This is probably the primary reason most of you are looking into doing guest posting, but let's think of it this way. Links are one of the factors that Google uses to establish whether your site is credible or not, whether the content you produce is of value. In order to have a really successful site, letting Google know that you are trustworthy is key. And as your site grows and you publish high quality, high value content, you'll start getting these links organically. But while your site is still small, guest posting is a really good way to expedite this process to show Google that you have something of value and that you can be trusted to have your content ranked. And I don't know if you noticed, but I emphasize high value. The reason I emphasize high value here is because whatever you're guest posting, whatever you're writing needs to be of value to the reader. And not only that, but any link you include in that guest post should also link to content that is of very high value and relevance to the reader. In some cases, when you guest post, you may only actually be able to link to your own stuff from your author bio. And if that's the case, that's actually okay too, because that means that someone's looking for you and they will find the relevant information about you, which will in turn lead them to the other content you've produced. And the last thing he mentioned was increasing your authority. And I kind of mentioned this in the last point, but as you get out there and participate in this industry outreach, you'll be signaling to Google as you show up in various places across the internet that you know what you're talking about. The way that Google measures this is by what they call EEAT: experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. I dare you to say that 5 times fast. It's quite a mouthful, but it's really important to build up those 4 things so that you can show Google that you are valuable. Based on those 3 things alone, guest posting is obviously worth it for you to do, but make sure that you do it in the right way with high value content kind of at your focus, with an emphasis in building your authority and trustworthiness. But as always, there are things you should watch out for to make sure that your efforts are as helpful as possible. I'm going to provide you a few cautions so that you can avoid the mistakes that so many bloggers make when they first start guest posting. But before I dive into that, I would really appreciate it if you would like this video. And we rarely ask you to share a video, but I really appreciate it if you would take a moment to find someone who also does blogging that you know and share this video with them if you found it helpful. It would really help out the channel. Thank you. The first thing that you should be cautious about is only guest posting for inbound links. When this is your only goal, you will end up writing content on other people's sites that isn't as high value, and you'll provide links to the readers that, again, are not as relevant to them at all. And while this may tick the box of getting a link, it doesn't do the other things. It doesn't improve your authority, and it also doesn't really help you do that networking side of the guest posting where you're building relationships in the industry. If you're not providing value for the other blogger and their readers, they're very unlikely to work with you again. And so I want to strongly encourage you to focus on all three of those things every time you guest post so that you can kind of have a very well-rounded and good approach to it. The second caution is not guest posting too soon. While it's important to do industry outreach early on, it's also very important that you have your own website ready to go before you start working on other people's websites and content for their sites. And what I mean by that, it doesn't mean you have to have a fully fledged 200 articles on your website. What I mean is when you go post on somebody else's site and you link back to your own content, make sure that you have content there that would be of value to the reader. You don't want to send them to your website only for them to find that you don't have anything posted there other than maybe an About You page, which again, isn't going to build any authority for you in the space because they'll just see that you are a brand new blogger. So make sure that your home front is ready to go before you actually go out and start getting people to come back to your site. Over the years here at Income School, we've really hounded on the fact that you just need to buckle down and get a ton of content produced and don't worry about anything else early on. The reason we say that is because of this problem. People want to go out and do all this industry outreach because it's sort of the exciting part. Early on, it feels like a really good way to get views to your website or get eyeballs on your content. And while that is true that every effort early on does matter, it's really important to have this foundation built on your website. So if you can create content, but then also do the guest posting and other industry outreach at the same time, then go for it. But if you feel like you're going to struggle doing both valuable things at one time, focus on the content first, and then the next step would be to go do that industry outreach. The third caution I would give you today is to avoid unappealing networking. You remember how I gave the example at the beginning of this video about all those emails in my inbox asking to put high quality content on my website, and then they'll even give an example of an article that has nothing to do with the other content. Well, that's what I mean. Rather than throwing spaghetti at the wall and just reaching out to everybody with the same email template, try taking a more strategic approach to who you reach out to and how you reach out to them. Find out what people's websites are about. Go find the people who are running these blogs, who are actually managing the content. Make sure that when you write the email to them, that it's appealing to them by offering them something of value. If you don't have anything of value to offer them or their audience, they're very unlikely to actually respond and then have a valuable interaction with you. So often it feels like the easier way to just find 100 emails and send out the same email to every single person. When in reality, if you sent a little bit more of a personalized email or found them on a social media platform where they're active, if you meet them kind of where they're at and figure out what their needs are, you'll have so much more success and your time will not be wasted. Focus on the value you have to bring to them and their audience, and then the value that you will receive in turn will come in its own due time. Building your brand and authority is more important today in the blogging landscape than ever. If you want a complete framework to help you build your successful website, go check out Project 24. The link is in the description. This is our membership that has been helping bloggers create successful sites for many years. And if you want some great step-by-step actionable ways to get started with guest posting, go check out that video I referenced from Adam earlier. I'll link it in the description below. Thanks for watching.